and you just want to use procurement somehow or somewhere, then that's not good management technique. So here the good practice, so these are all, when I have procurement need in my project, I would use procurement processes. Now again, sorry to jump here, procurement is again a knowledge area within PMBOK, but generally even the term procurement is understandable to anybody who has done project management. So good practice in the statement does not mean the knowledge described in PMBOK should always be applied uniformly to all projects. So you cannot apply it just like that uniformly across all projects and expect some sort of result or miracle. The PMBOK guide identifies that subset of project management body of knowledge generally recognized as good practice. The PMBOK guide provides and promotes a common vocabulary within the project management community. The PMBOK guide provides a standard that is foundational project management reference for PMI's professional development programs and certifications. So these are certain things where the PMBOK guide is useful. It identifies that subset of project management body of knowledge generally recognized as good practice, number one. Then it provides a common vocabulary among all the project managers across the world. Okay. The third one, it provides standard that is foundational project management reference for PMI's professional development programs and certifications. So from here, when an institute PMI, if it has to use a terminology, then it is understandable to everyone. It can be used for other professional references or certifications. So that's another reason why how the PMBOK guide is really useful. So this is from section 1.1. There is I've just taken a sample question. So section 1.1, this is covered. The question is, which among the following is not correct according to the Project Management Institute Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct? So this is a professional conduct question, and this was picked from section 1.1. So the options that are given in the chapter test or for this question are practitioners must comply with laws, regulations and policies. Number one is the option. Number two, practitioners should be committed to honest dealings with stakeholders. Number three, practitioners can be respectful with stakeholders only if needed. Number four, practitioners must demonstrate a commitment to professional conduct. So one says that practitioners must comply with laws, regulations and policies, which is something they have to do because that's what is stated by the Code of Ethics. Practitioners should be committed to honest dealings with stakeholders. Nothing wrong with this because they have to be honest with all the stakeholders and fair to them. 4. Practitioners must demonstrate a commitment to professional conduct. This is also stated in the PMI conduct as part of section 1.1. But if you look at the third option, it says they can be respectful with stakeholders only if needed. No, that's not allowed, because basically they have to deal everybody with respect and fairly, because they will be dealing with different stakeholders all across the world. So the option is 3. Now 8th point, again this is one more question which is picked from section 1.2. So if you look the chapter test questions, all of them would have been picked up from PMBOK. So the idea of the chapter test is to make you thorough with the PMBOK concepts first, because that's where you actually start. Anybody who has cleared the PMP exam, they would say, I have read PMBOK so many times, because when you get thorough with those concepts, you know what is the process, what is the flow, what is being stated there, and you can deal with any phrasing change. You understand what each of the words in the options mean, so you can answer your questions better. So that's where your preparation starts. Get yourself thorough with the PMBOK. Be sure what each of the statements say, what is covered in indirectly, what is covered in what section. So here is one more question. Out of the following, which one is not a reason for the project, for the end of a project is considered to be reached? So let's first revisit the definition for a project. What's a project? A project is a temporary endeavor a temporary endeavor to create a unique product, service, or result. Okay, it's a temporary endeavor. Endeavor here means an attempt. Okay, it's an English word which means